Hey, how's it going, guys? Danny the Doom Guy here, and today we're with Mortem and Aere. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm Micah Pack, lead guitarist and heavy vocalist.
I'm Darren McGinnis, a drummer.
I am Zachary McKinney. I am rhythm guitarist and clean vocalist.
I'm Brandon Williams, the bassist.
All right, guys, so let's get into it. Y'all have been a band for roughly like 2 years now. Right. So how'd this all start, man? I mean, I need details. I mean, I know you guys, most of us work together.
Right, yeah.
But I guess what I'm meaning is like, I mean, what made you want to get into it? What made you want to be in a band?
The local scene, man. I really like what's going on in the local scene, like Wise and Mantis, Wolves of Oz, Sidious. I love those bands, dude.
Sidious is so underrated.
Dude. Yeah, they're just
so
great,
underrated.
Man. I just love those kind of bands. I just, got into that, and I don't know, I love very, swancore stuff, like Dance Gavin Dance, Dwelling, stuff like that. I like that vocally, and yeah, man, that's kind of it.
I got you. Dance Gavin Dance, I like them. I like a few of their stuff, and I've tried to get into them more. They are very interesting, to say the least. Their music.
They're very niche, I'd say. Yeah.
It just depends, like, what album. It's so different because the vocalist. There's
like 3-4 different vocalists and everything.
It depends what album you listen to, what song you listen to. It's like a totally different experience.
Yeah,
I'm not into that kind of stuff, but I actually really like that.
Yeah.
I got you.
Inspirations, right?
The riff wizard over here. Let's hear it.
Trivium.
I got you.
I mean, that's the starting point. My mom wasn't a big fan of heavier music, so I had to hide it from her for a while. And then I found Trivium, and I was like, who are these guys? When I found them, they were, playing Ascendancy and stuff. So they were like, 17, 18.
Yeah.
And it really inspired me because everybody else you see, it's like way older than you. And it's like, I can never do that. But then there's these kids doing this, and it's like, I could do that.
Yeah.
So that was very inspirational. And, Machine Headed, In Flames as well. Just the different genres, playing with other people, stuff like that just inspires me. You can get inspiration from any kind of music, really. You can have something to take from it. So
I was about to say, you, Micah, you especially, you've been in a few bands, and what was it? Nocturnal Abortion? Wasn't that the name of it?
Yeah.
That's brutal.
It was brutal.
Because I mean, you're when I tell people about you as a musician, I always I'm like, yeah, the tech metal dude is that dude. Yeah, Micah Pack is the tech metal guy. He shreds like a robot, plays like a robot.
Well, he is.
I'm not a real person.
He's not a real person.
I'm a cyborg.
No, dude, you're a lizard person. Let's hear it.
Oh, yeah, right, okay. Okay, I kind of forgot. Okay, I'm back in now. Ready? Okay, so for me, I think a little Kublai Khan.
I got you.
And, I'm not going to sit here and act like I can play, as good as my inspirations or even remote, like in a fraction maybe, but definitely inspired heavily by just post-hardcore, anything like beatdown. I like slam a lot.
Slams.
I love slam. Dude, I even dabble in a little bit of grindcore. I like it all, really.
behind that. Personally, I like all genres of metal, or all genres of music in general, the entire spectrum. There's some slam metal I love. There's some slam metal that I think is awful. Shout out Truck Stop. Not to mention, beatdown, especially in the local scene, is flourishing like crazy.
Yeah, of course. I mean, beatdown's just flourishing right now in general. Beatdown is amazing slam. It's just great, dude. And there's a lot of joke, like grindcore, and a lot of joke slam coming out, and it's helping it get popular. But I mean, it's kind of hard though. When they sample, it's pretty good. I like me a little grindcore, dude.
Honestly, I don't know if you guys have heard of them. Body Box.
Yeah,
I've heard of Body Box. Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, dude, I love me some Body Box.
Body Box is insane.
Body Box is so good, dude.
Not to mention Bog, Single Sugar Bog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God,
dude, I like both, but Body Box is just. I'm glad you mentioned. Body Box. Add that to the list. Body Box is so good.
I was gonna say there's another band called Body Bag, and they're pretty good too. They're pretty heavy.
I got you. I think I've heard of them actually. There's a few bands in the scene right now that are pretty heavy, dude, and it's a lot of young guys. Which
a lot of
insane.
local bands in Knoxville. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what blows my mind, especially the band I'm about to say, Chunked and Piss Rot. Bands like
we've
that.
Seen them.
They're insane, dude. And how old they are? I think they're like 17.
They're young,
dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I might be wrong. Don't quote me. I think it's two twin brothers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. One's the drummer,
like Aere, and
one's
I don't
the
know
vocalist.
They look similar.
Yeah, for sure.
And I never will forget when I was in Once More Again, and we played Metal Chaos 2024.
That's
Yeah.
what we saw them,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. This dude was doing like the tendril, like the stuff. It's like, it's insane, dude.
And their stage presence is so good too, dude. They got up there talking about NASCAR. They got me a little jumpy, talk about OLED, Dale. I really like that kind of talk, you know what I mean? I like the way them boys I like the way they handle it.
I got you. Shit. So, I was about to say, you're the more quiet one, Brandon, so I guess it's time to bring you out of your shell just a little bit. You were bringing up Body Bag. What's some other bands that inspire you, man? I mean, you obviously you're a bass player, and you said you're using the dark glass right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously there's
thing.
A little bit of Kubla Khan influence.
Yeah, I was going to say I have to agree with Darren on my inspiration be Kubla Khan.
I got
the
you.
bassist for that. I think the bassist for Spirit Box is really good because he used to be in As I Lay Dying. I think
I got
used to be the bassist there. So yeah,
Spirit Box. Courtney as a vocalist is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Their music, I feel like it's not everybody's thing, but it's also, I mean, it's really good. I personally enjoy Spirit Box.
Mm-hmm. What inspires you, Danny?
My personal the things that inspire me, bands like Sleep, Crowbar especially. Crowbar's awesome, dude.
I love Crowbar.
Sleep, High on Fire. Mastodon's my favorite band of all time, dude. Mastodon is by far my favorite band of all time. Stuff like that, the post rock stuff, the modern sludge metal and doom, stoner rock, acid rock, stuff like that. If I had to pick like an underrated band that's been around for years, Kowloon Walled City. Those dudes, they use the orange dual dark amps, which are now discontinued, which sucks, but they use like 2 412s for each. It's like my co-writer for the show, Jackson, he got to see him and he said it was like a wall of sound, basically, which I mean is perfect. I love anything doom, sludge, slow that you could bang your head to. I enjoy it, but I also enjoy fast stuff too. Mm-hmm. If I had to pick like some other bands outside of the stuff I listen to, it'd probably be Same with Sugar Bog is always going to be one of my favorite slam bands, even though they're kind of like, I don't know if you'd call them slam or if you'd call them like brutal death, dude. But
I would probably call them brutal death. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd even call them that. I don't know what the word is, but they're like adjacent of slam. But I wouldn't say they're all in.
What blows my mind with that band is people always, for the longest time, people were like, "Oh, if you listen to Bog, you're a poser. You're a poser."
Anything that gets big is like that, though. They're one of the biggest in their.
Then there's black metal, though. But bro, I black metal's
I'm not a big fan of black metal. I like it a little bit, but
my buddy, he was actually the roadie for Once More Again when I was in there. He tried to get me into Mayhem. The lead singer, now guitar player, tried to get me into them. They're just not my cup of tea. I'm not a big fan of black metal. There are some black metal bands that I think are awesome. Like, this is the poser band that everybody says. I love Behemoth. I love Behemoth.
100% Behemoth. I love Behemoth, dude.
And I don't get the whole. Well, it's like what Darren said. I mean, anything that gets big is like.
Of course.
I mean, look at In Flames, too. They were a melodic death metal band. Everybody loved their old stuff. But whenever they got big, everybody just kind of was like, eh.
In Flames is extremely underrated as well.
Amen to that.
I don't know if you'd call them melodic death or tech death. Have y'all ever heard of Inferi?
Inferi? I don't think I have.
I think I've heard their stuff before.
Dude, I can't think of an album name off the top of my head, but they are truly immaculate when it comes to the nasty, like not slam, but like brutal death style stuff. And I mean, I personally think they're extremely underrated. Talking on like the heavier spectrum of like metal and rock and stuff like that, it's just it feels like there's so much of like the symphonic stuff in metal now. Like, no hate to Lorna Shore, but it feels like everybody's trying to copy Lorna Shore now after the whole Into the Hellfire with the hee haw ho stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But like, here's a prime example of a band that took some inspiration from that, but absolutely knocked it out of the park this year, especially Whitechapel's new album, Hymns and Dissonance. Go.
Say that.
Yeah. Dude, I never will forget my boy Caleb. Shout out Caleb McCarthy, killer guitar player. He was like, "Yo, Danny, check this out." And I hadn't even listened to it yet. I hadn't even heard that they were putting out an album yet. And it was A Visceral Wretch, the first breakdown, and I felt cold chills, bro. I mean, that entire album, like Mammoth God, Prisoner 666, Bedlam, especially Bedlam is hard. But like, I just it seems that the stuff that's popular now, it's like it's dying out a little bit in a way. If y'all get what I mean, yeah. I feel like y'all can agree with me too. Oh, yeah. It's like metal, and I mean, people will probably see that and say like, well, he's saying the scene's dead. No, I'm not saying that at all. Bands like y'all, especially, and bands like Red Prism, OMA, bands like that, Quiescent Mantis, Body Box, what's the name?
Old War Clown.
Abated Massofflesh is another good local deathcore band.
War Clown, yeah. Like
War Clown, oh my god.
War Clown is awesome. Chris Down.
Chris is a great vocalist. Yeah. I think, like I said, like the local scene is so inspirational to me with my vocals and stuff. You know, so like I see bands like that, I'm like, I want to do that. And it just it felt way more like achievable seeing them do that. Because when I was younger, man, I didn't realize how easy it was to just, you know, do that. You know, you just make a band and do it, you know. And yeah, when I got to see the local bands, I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. It inspired me, man.
That's killer. Chris, in my personal opinion, is probably one of the best frontmen in metal.
Amen.
Yeah. And this is from meeting the guy and actually getting to talk to him before playing. Yeah, especially. He's such a sweet person.
We met him before Metal Chaos.
Yeah,
we met him before Metal Chaos, and he just sat and talked to us about music and stuff. He had a little WWE championship and everything, just carrying it around.
He's such a good
guy. He probably doesn't remember us, but we remember him. He's a good guy.
Especially their cover of Rainbow in the Dark by Dio. Oh, awesome.
I mean, speaking of them and inspirations, you know, one thing that kind of helped me want to get back into band was when I saw Trivium live for the first time.
Yeah.
And I can't remember his band at the time, but I think he was playing bass and doing clean vocals, but they opened for Trivium.
Sick, dude.
And, you know, seeing him in person again years later, and he's still doing it, that's motivating to me.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, going back to their first album, the guitar work there, because I had worked with Tommy when I worked with my uncle, and he introduced me to his band like 10 years ago and everything. It was just incredible. It's like people here are doing that now. So that was very inspirational. Yeah.
There's so many amazing people in the local scene. Chris Trainer, fantastic guitar player.
Great guy too.
Especially, and not only is he a good guy, he is part of the he's part of the reason the scene is not dead in Knoxville, in my opinion.
They're so humble. Those guys, you can go up to them and they don't act like they're bigger than the world. You can go up to them and they're just a person. And that's one reason I'm like, it's just awesome. Some people you can't go up to them.
Not even just that. Chris, but I mean all the members of Mantis, especially.
They're all humble guys.
Johnny cracks me up, and he's such a phenomenal drummer in my opinion.
He's the quiet one. He's the quiet one of the band.
Jordan McKenzie, the lead singer and bassist. Yeah. Oh my God, dude, he's like one of the best people in the scene, and not to mention the mullet. He embraces tradition, and I mean, there's a lot of good musicians. I mean, Aiden Gwaltney. Guitar player of Once More Again, a fantastic player.
Oh, yeah.
Killer guitar player, actually. Then there's Sammy from Shogun. Fantastic dude, cool guy. And also, this isn't a band, but these people are a very big part of the local scene. The people at French Fried Vintage in Knoxville. It's a little store.
I've never heard of that.
And they also they have a little record store inside it, and it's ran by the dudes formerly of Melee and now of Shogun. It's called Kingpin Records.
That's cool.
I mean, it's cool that.
What do? They sell like
local
stuff.
They sell, not only do they sell local, they sell. I've seen stuff like they have a few of the new Gates to Hell records, which are awesome. Oh my God, Gates to Hell is such a good. They're more like, I don't know if you'd. Okay, so there's like deathcore bands which are more death metal influenced, and then there are deathcore bands with more hardcore influence. I feel like they're the type of deathcore that's more hardcore related, but hardcore is flourishing in Knoxville right now.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I wish that some other genres would be able to get up, but I mean, it is what it is. People love hardcore.
Us doing our little metalcore thing is a little different. I mean, there's definitely metalcore bands, but I don't think that they do exactly what we do. So it's kind of nice to have something new.
And that's the thing. That's what the scene needs. It needs new. And I mean, this is not throwing shade towards anybody in the scene. All power to them.
Oh yeah,
these guys have been in the scene for years. It's the same, like 4 or 5 people in like 7 bands.
Yeah, it seems
that way.
You know
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we need differentiate. We need to like differentiate like the scene. We need to make it better. I mean, and somebody that I truly believe is going to make the scene better once he gets stuff started. Zach Batowski from Bros at Shows. Very good friend of mine. Very, very good person. He's the dude who wears the banana costume.
Yeah, I knew exactly. I already knew that. Yeah,
and, dude got to get up on stage with Limp Bizkit. I think last summer, dude.
I honestly feel like everyone in the local scene knows that guy. So
he's awesome, dude. And
when you said Bros at Shows, I knew who you were talking.
Him and Dame are some of the best people I know. Especially, like I said, Jackson, my co-host, is fantastic. Killer drone metal guitarist. Not only that, post rock. Very big musician with that. Caleb McCarthy, killer dude. Especially in the scene, he reminds me a lot like Micah when it comes to like sweeping and stuff like that. He's just a good musician in general. And it's just what's the name of the band? Democide. Democide's doing great right now. They're pretty good. I think Aiden Cronin is now their bass player, if I'm right. Not to mention.
Oh, yeah, he talked about that, yeah.
And then Josh, I believe, his name's, I don't know his last name, but his name is Josh. And fantastic dude. Their band is pretty killer. They're like more, I guess you'd call them like, they're like deathcore, but like a little bit of industrial metal, in my opinion, is what I felt like when I heard them. I like them. They're pretty killer. But Ninja Witch is also a good band.
Yeah.
Ninja Witch. Summoner Circle is killer. Yeah. Summoner Circle is like one of the only black metal bands that I love.
I'm not big on gimmicks, but that's pretty cool. I like their whole thing that they're doing. Yeah.
And not only that, Herb from that band is killer. Josh from that band is killer. I mean, all the dudes in Summoner Circle are amazing people. Not to mention most, I think 2 members from Summoners is in Ninja Witch. And
yeah, that's crazy. Not how, one band is doing this and then the other members are making other bands. It's like Chris with Truck Stop,
I don't know if he's in Truck Stop.
He's not now.
I was about to say, I don't know if he is
yeah.
or not. Well, Chris was in a couple of bands, if I'm not right, because he was in a band before Mantis, but I never could remember the name of it. But it's still, he's a fantastic musician.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't wait to see what Mantis does in the future. I mean, their debut album, insane. It's just like, it's dudes like that give me personally hope for the local scene here, especially with me moving. It's like, I can't believe the few years that I've been really deep into the music scene here, so much has changed. So much is different than what it was.
Yeah.
Because it's like, the only band that, when I was in high school, the only band that I knew that was from here was Whitechapel.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
And I was like, oh my God, Whitechapel. Which, I mean, Whitechapel.
That was me, man.
Still, Whitechapel's amazing. Whitechapel's insane.
I didn't realize how big the local scene was until we were at that Quiet as a Mantis concert.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, yeah, I think I want to do this. That was where it all kind of flustered for me.
Sadly, the way the scene is now, you got venues closing.
Yeah.
One of the biggest problems,
That's
when the Brickyard shut down, and when the Concourse shut down. When the Concourse shut down, I was like, yep.
I was getting to the point where, like, at that point, I was like, is the metal scene kind of falling apart? It kind of made me question that. But it's kind of growing back up now. But at that time, it was like,
it depends what area of Knoxville you're in. I mean, it just depends what area. There's surrounding cities and stuff that are still, I mean, even stuff like Kingsport. Kingsport has a really good scene. I mean, of course, it's a little far out from here, but like obviously Nashville, it doesn't even need to be said. It's such a big city. That has a good scene for everything. Probably.
Let's see. There's Capone's in Johnson City, I believe,
mm-hmm.
and it's like there's still venues here.
Johnson City's actually,
but sadly, it's like the popularity contest. You get what I mean? Yeah, we got amazing venues like the Millen Mine who need to let local bands play, dude. It's like it's great that they have these massive bands play, and who doesn't want to go see a really killer band, not extremely expensive, and you can just go and have a good time. But the thing is, you got all these local dudes who have the potential to get up on stage, and they don't necessarily have to prove themselves to nothing, dude. I mean, it's just like let these dudes have a chance, dude. It's like Mantis has been trying to get on for one of Whitechapel's home shows for like the past 3 years.
Oh yeah,
and they could do it.
Definitely, yeah, they definitely could. Mantis is, for me, when I think of like local scene, I think of Mantis, dude. Quasi Mantis, I've probably showed my whole family, like my whole extended family, Quasi Mantis, Shake the Cage, like the lyric video. Come on, man.
Dude. That was the first song I ever heard by them.
I think me too. Yeah. Dude.
The thing is, like with the local scene, like you can't really get anywhere if you don't let these people get somewhere. If we don't like play at these venues and stuff, we're not going to get any bigger. So
a prime example. Some of these dudes have had to take stuff into their own hands. I mean, a prime example of that is the community centers all over Knoxville. Carnes Community Center, that's where all the slam shows are.
I've been seeing that
around. That's great. And I played at the Carnes Community Center. It was a cool show. That was a very out of place show for our band to be.
It's very weird. It's awesome, but it kind of reminds me of old school punk playing underground shows and stuff in their basements and stuff
which they do that. There's people I don't know any. Actually, that's a lie. There is a venue called the Birdhouse.
Really?
And it's off Broadway in Knoxville, dude. Yeah. And it's this dude's house.
That's funny to me.
It's on the corner of a street, dude.
Just playing in the garage.
It was a Doom night show. It was, if I'm right, it was Dybbuk, Dead Runes, Lore, Ninja Witch, and Sun Mantra. Shout out Sun Mantra and Dybbuk. Y'all are my people. That's another band that I feel like people need to get into.
If I had a big house with a garage, I would definitely start doing underground shows like that in my garage.
Well, it's not. You say underground, but it's just a show at a house, Yeah. I think we need to get an apartment and have some apartment shows. You know what I mean? have some apartment shows.
And what's crazy is And that's where I go back to the guys who set up the shows. Shout out Matt, Phelan, and Roger, who have made it possible for people to still make shows. Canyon, he's a dude that I met in the local scene. He started up a booking agency for hardcore stuff like that. Which if these young dudes don't start, if these younger dudes don't do it, who's going to? Because, it's these people are not asking for money. They're like, hey, do you want to play a show? Yeah, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. And, it's good that they're giving these younger dudes who don't have money, who can't give money in any way or form to get a show, but they're genuinely trying to make the scene better. They're trying to make it to where people can get out there. And who cares if they get popular? These people are trying to just do what they love, which I'm happy that they're still doing that. I'm not the one to call people posers.
Yeah.
But I personally, if you call somebody a poser and they're just trying to enjoy the music, okay, that's on you. You're a gatekeeper. You shouldn't even have a place in the scene.
Yeah.
But if you're in a band, you're playing what you don't enjoy just to get shows, I'm a firm believer you're a poser.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a very firm believer you're a poser. You're just doing it for the fame, the money. You're not doing it for the lifestyle or the love of music. You're just you're wasting space, in my opinion. And it's there's so many bands that deserve the spotlight that don't have it. But on a different note, let's talk gear. Let's talk gear.
Heck yeah, let's get to Micah.
Of course, why not? As far as kind of backtracking a little bit, as far as playing music goes, you kind of need to play what you want.
Yeah,
be selfish with it because it's your music.
Exactly.
I've listened to so many different subgenres of metal. It's kind of hard for me to categorize myself personally. I just play. You play what you enjoy. The way I look at it, it's kind of how they look at it is, what do I want to hear?
Yeah.
You kind of have to be selfish with it a little bit. And that makes it where you enjoy it more. So, that's just the way that goes. As far as gear goes, I'm using a 5150 Iconic EL34 head. I'm using the EVH 5153 cabinet. It's got Celestion GH12 70th anniversary speakers in it.
How many wattage? What's the wattage on that head?
The head's 80, the cab's 60.
Okay.
From what I understand, as long as you don't go past 6 on full power, you should be fine. But we're all going to be mic'd up anyway. So I think we'll be fine on that.
What kind of, what's your pedal board like?
My pedal board, I'm just running 4 pedals. I use the EVH foot switch that came with the head. I'm using an MXR carbon copy to get a subtle delay. It's a little bit darker than other delays, which is why I like it. It's not repeating the same thing. It has a different tonality to it. So I kind of like that. And then I'm using the Boss Harmonist with the 5th harmony setting.
I got you.
I'm also using this Heavy Earth pedals.
Very underrated pedal company.
They are basically just bougie whatever you want. One's basically an ISP decimator. Just you have the 4-cable method for it. And then the other one's basically a tube screamer type of copy with a little bit of like the Maxon 808.
All right.
It's pretty nice. I like it. It makes it thick and nasty. It's great. That's what I personally use.
I have a 5150 Iconic too. I just have the, I think it's the ebony head.
6L6.
6L6, yeah. I don't really know much about the head myself, but I like it.
That's all.
I play a Harley Benton cab, the 4x12.
Dude, they are killing it right now.
My bad.
They are killing it.
Yeah,
like
that
crazy.
Harley
Benton's got. They're that budget company that everybody loves.
Yeah,
there are so many people that try to hate on them.
I have that, and then I have a Harley Benton White Explorer that I play. It's pretty nice. And then my pedals, I have a MXR EQ pedal that I use kind of as a boost. I just use it to kind of boost my tone. And then I have I think it's Electric Harmonics noise gate. I think that's what it is, or it's TC Electric, one or the other. TC Electric. Is that what it is? Sure. Yeah, it's one or the other, but it's a nice gate. But yeah, that's about it with my. I don't have as crazy of a setup as Micah has. Micah has a harmonic pedal and all that. And I don't have all that. I kind of let Micah do all that.
I got you.
My turn.
Let's hear it.
So I got a 410 Fender Rumble cabinet.
Oh, sick, dude.
Yeah, with a carving head and a dark glass pedal, the B3K microtubes.
All right.
And then Zach, he got me a noise gate.
That'd be Herringer noise
Yeah.
gate.
So, do you, especially you with, bass is like that one instrument you can do anything to, and it would sound nasty no matter what.
Especially the dark glass pedal.
That,
that hands down is like my favorite pedal.
Is there? Do you plan on expanding your pedal board anytime soon? Any of y'all?
Maybe. That'd be more for Zach, yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of different things I want to get. I'd like to get some kind of reverb pedal just to kind of add that flavor. I want to get
Flavor Flame.
I want to get a tube screamer, like the mini one maybe. And I don't really want a really big tube screamer for anything, but yeah, I want to get a tube screamer just to kind of use the EQ pedal more for micro managing my tone.
I get what you mean. But that's pretty much what I use for my setup.
Yeah.
Which, sadly, I don't have my orange head anymore. I plan on getting a new one whenever I can.
Which one are you looking to get?
Ooh, dude, that's the thing. Orange is that company which I will always love. That is my favorite company by far. I've played the PVs, which I like the PV. I've played the PV Musicians. I've played the EVH 6505s, the 5150s. I've played the Marshalls, and nothing really caught my eye like the orange. I mean, the Crush series is awesome for combo amps, especially. But head-wise, I'd love to get an OR30. The OR15 is killer. I've played the TH30. It's really more. It doesn't really have like a. It's not really like a drive powered TH30. It's more like a fizzy. Kind of more like fuzz sound, which I mean, I love fuzz. That's all I use. But the way I have my setup now is I have a yo-yo head. It's a little tiny dude.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
And I used to not play through the drive channel because of the noise.
Right. It is a noisy head. That's the one that I gave you.
Yeah. I have the gain on it at 12 o'clock. I have my tube screamer copy on. Drive is off on it, but I basically use it as like a clean boost.
Yeah. Check.
And
hello?
We're good.
Oh, okay.
And not to mention, I use Electro Harmonics Big Muff.
Yeah.
The Pi. And sometimes I'll use a Rat, which the Proco Rat I feel like is a legendary pedal in like the Doom scene, especially the Big Muff. I love the Big Muff. Which, speaking of pedal companies. I highly recommend, which I was talking to y'all before we started the interview. Derek, I'll have to look at his last name because I cannot ever remember how to pronounce it. But he runs Anima Effects, I believe is what they're called, and they're from Nashville. He is one of the sweetest people I know. He makes pedals. He has a fuzz drive on his page right now. I'll put his Instagram in the description, and he's actually making my custom pedal, and it's basically a tube screamer.
I think that's cool.
It's a tube screamer with two other pedals, so it's like a tube screamer with a standard Big Muff Pie circuit.
That's crazy.
But there's two switches where if you have them both down, it's the green Russian.
You just got an all-in-one pedal. That's awesome, man.
I mean, it breaks my board down significantly, but
for sure,
I'm excited for it. But I would like to say thank you guys for allowing me to do this for y'all today. I greatly appreciate y'all for having me.
Heck yeah, man! I
can't wait to see what y'all do in the future.
Of course.
Get these guys some shows. These guys are awesome. They are extremely humble. I recommend getting them out there. But gentlemen, as like I said, thank you. And,
thank you. Yeah, man.
We'll see y'all next time.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Let's go! With the